All right, the next feature we're going to talk about is polygroup it. So what I'm going to do is go over here to the side. You can double click these double arrow lines to open up a side panel over here. And if you have a menu already in here, you just click that white button, get rid of it. And then go over here to Z plugin, take that white button and just drag it in here. And you'll see if we open up polygroup it at the submenu, we have a polygroup it option, polygroup from Polypaint, and border. Of course, just like anything else in ZBrush, if you hover over these and hold down Control, you'll get a little bit more information on them. Essentially, polygroup it from Polypaint we'll get to second. You can make a polypaint on your object and get polygroups from that. Polygroup it's going to look at the surface of your object and determine how to make polygroups based on, I guess, surface normal. So we'll start with this one. First thing we need is something to sculpt on. So let's go ahead and go into our tool palette here. I'm going to choose a sphere 3D, drag it out on my canvas, go into edit mode. I'm going to choose a matte cap gray, hit make polymesh 3D. Let's hit X to go across X symmetry here, and now we can just start sculpting on our mesh. You know what? We went over this in earlier videos. If we want something a little bit more interesting to sculpt on, let's hit W, go into the gear icon, and let's do a really quick project primitive. If we pull forward here, you're going to see we're going to project that default sphere primitive through here. If we scale this up, it'll go ahead and deform it. If we pull it past that midpoint, of course, it's going to cut in. If you haven't watched this video yet, go back and watch the previous videos on the project primitive deformer. So if we like this, we can go ahead and hit accept. I'm going to pull through to this other side, and this time we'll go ahead and do an additive shape, but we're also going to go over here where we have a modifier, and we're going to turn that into a cube. So we've got a cube kind of morphing into a sphere being cut out by another sphere. If we're cool with this, let's go ahead and say go back into the gear, hit accept, and then make sure you hit X to go back across X symmetry. And now we're ready to sculpt panels on this. Now by sculpting panels, what I mean is if you go to my ArtStation page and you go to any of my hard surface stuff where I do any concepting, for example, this GDC FPS female, if you scroll down, you see this is the final product, everything's all been refined and all the insert mesh brushes and details are applied in there. But when you first start out, and you're just getting your ideas out quickly, I start out with this concept sketch phase. And basically it's just taking essentially one big piece of clay and going through there and just quickly getting your ideas out and using brushes I'm going to talk about in just a second to kind of add panels like these helmet panels in here to your mesh. What you can then do is go through here and extract these panels and start refining them to get your ideas a little bit clearer, start working out some of the functionality, and then past that point there's a million different ways to go in and refine and add details and Boolean meshes and all that good stuff to get you your final product. If you want to see the making of her, these are a little bit older, but the concept idea parts are all in these videos here. And if you want to go really old school, we can go back down here to this helmet here. This is a very, very old helmet, but the exact same methods still apply. These were made when a lot of the features in ZBrush I'm going over now that were, of course, not in existence. This is actually a very old version of ZBrush, back before even ZModeler. But you know, you can see the sketching part and the refining part, essentially just getting your ideas out quickly, is still the same. And if you keep scrolling down, you'll get the videos of the making of this. And of course, if you go to my YouTube channel and my playlist, you can find them there as well. And also my YouTube channel, there's things like the Sci-Fi Pistol series, the ZBrush 4R8 What's New. That'll go over a lot of the more newer, more up-to-date functionality that ZBrush has. And of course, if you want to see me going through things in real time, you can join me on my live streams or watch my live stream archives right in here or on my Twitch channel. And as well as my ArtStation page has a pretty good breakdown of everything on my YouTube channel, plus it has a few more goodies in here that might be of interest to you as you go through and start learning these new programs. Anyways, to get back to cutting in panels here, if you want to just start out real simply, you go to the standard brush. We'll throw in maybe a little sharp alpha here, maybe like alpha 47. Go to your stroke menu, go to your lazy mouse and crank your lazy mouse up. And also let's go ahead and crank our Z intensity up as well. So you're going to see as we go in here, we can start sculpting. You're going to want to hold down Alt, and that'll start cutting in your mesh. And let's go ahead and crank that Z intensity up a little bit more. So we're cutting a very fine line through our mesh. Now our mesh isn't very high resolution. So if you need to, you can hit Control D to subdivide the mesh, and that'll give you a little bit more resolution. As well as you can also remember, if we undo that subdivision there, so with no subdivisions, we can go in here to Sculptris Pro mode, and we can go ahead and start carving this in. And this will tessellate the geometry on the fly. I'm not getting a very even stroke on here, so what I'm going to do is go into my stroke lazy mouse. I'm going to take my lazy step down, and that'll give me a lot smoother stroke. So now I have a nice smooth panel line cut through here. And if I turn off Sculptris Pro mode, you'll see we're getting very bad resolution up here and then a little better resolution here. If you don't want to worry about resolution, you can turn on Sculptris Pro mode. And if you want to see more on this functionality, go watch the earlier videos in this channel. Alternatively, if we turn on Polyframe again, and that's Shift F to turn that on, you can also go to Geometry and go to Dynamesh. So with Geometry Dynamesh, you can just hit this Dynamesh button, and now you have nice uniform geometry. And you can use this in conjunction with Sculptris Pro mode if you want to, or you can turn that off and just use your standard brush at that point. And since it's a ZBrush 2018, I should also probably bring up, if you hit W, go into this gear icon, you can now do Remesh by Dynamesh. So now you can just dial in a poly count here on the fly and get the resolution you want, and then you can say, okay, accept that. So any number of ways to do that. Now, instead of using our standard brush, let's go ahead and hit X Symmetry again. You can also go into hit B to bring up your brush menu, or you can just click up here. You can hit D to narrow it down to your D brushes, and then click on S, or just click on Damn Standard. This is your Damien Standard brush. If we crank up the intensity on this one, you can see where you can cut in some nice panel lines through here. You can also do B, S, and you've got a /3 brush in here, so now you can use this brush and that'll give you some good results too. If you need to, you can still go into the stroke and change that lazy step to kind of smooth that stroke out just a bit. Also, just in case, hit the comma key, go into your brush menu up here. You'll notice you got a lot of really cool brushes in here that aren't loaded in ZBrush by default, and you can also save your brushes in this location too. So if you ever make a brush in ZBrush and change the settings and you go in here to brush, save as, and you want to throw it in a menu in here, all you have to do is that location is on a Windows machine, C, Program Files, Pixologic, ZBrush 2018, ZBrushes. You can make a new folder in here if you want. You can name it whatever you'd like, throw your brushes in here, and then every time you hit the comma key to bring up your light box and then go to the brush menu, your new folder will be in here and your new brushes will be in here. Anyways, what I'm meaning to get at is the Ram brush is pretty good for cutting and chisel stuff too. The slash brush, we're using /3, but you also notice in this menu we also have /1 and /2 that are other interesting brushes here. So you can grab those if you want. But here's the /3 in work. And if you want to smooth that stroke out, just remember, go into stroke and crank that lazy radius up and that'll smooth it out. Of course, you can just hit the L key and that'll toggle that off. So you can either do lazy mouse off or lazy mouse on. And then hit S to make your brush size bigger or smaller, or go up here, or hold down your space bar to make your draw size a little bigger or smaller. Another brush that I really like for this type of work is BC, and you've got your chisel brushes in here, so we'll do H. And if you want to go in depth on the new vector displacement brushes in ZBrush, well, sort of new. They're new in ZBrush 4R8. You can go to my YouTube channel, go to the ZBrush 4R8 What's New videos, and that'll walk you through all the new vector displacement functionality. But essentially what this is going to do is apply this vector displacement alpha to this brush and give us nice, very clean cut lines through here. Now you may need to raise the resolution of your Dynamesh, or you can hit Control D to add subdivisions, and this will give you a much smoother look. There's a couple things you can do with this brush that are pretty interesting though. So if we go over here just really quickly, go to Stroke, go to this Lazy Snap and turn that up, and I'll explain what that is in just a second. And also go down to the bottom of your tool menu here to where it says Morph Target and hit Store Morph Target. Now, before I do that, I'll show you why I'm storing the Morph Target. So right now, if I use the chisel brush and I kind of cross over my stroke, it looks great. It crosses over perfectly. However, if I use my chisel brush and then pick up and then cross over my stroke, it kind of mangles it. If you want to avoid that, store Morph Target, and now you can go, of course, across a stroke here and then across a stroke this way, and it'll work perfectly. You get nice, even chisel lines. Another feature of this brush is what I went through over before, the Stroke Lazy Snap. So when I start a stroke out here, and let's say I want to continue my stroke from this position, instead of having to get perfectly on that and then start from where I stopped, basically, I can just kind of get close and it'll automatically snap to that last point. You can see I'm not anywhere near that end point here, but if I start stroking, it'll snap over and find where I left off. So you can get nice strokes that way. One more thing to watch out for with this brush is if you hold, or if you just very lightly brush, it'll go small to thick to thin again. And then if you want to pick up on the stroke and you start thick, it's going to kind of be very uneven. One way to combat that is you can use your mouse if you'd like. So you can just pick up your mouse and then it'll always be the exact same thickness just based on your brush size here. Or since I like to use my tablet, I can temporarily turn off pressure sensitivity by going over here to my brush menu. Go over here to tablet pressure, and where we see size, go ahead and crank that up. So now when I'm using this brush, it's going to be like I'm using my mouse. It doesn't matter if I go soft or heavy with my pressure sensitivity, it's going to be the exact same chisel width. So that way I can just go through here, and of course I got my snap on, so now I can make very nice even strokes. You can also hold down Shift, snap this to incremental angles, and then let go. And if it's not snapping as quite as far as you would hope, it's only going about halfway, go over here to your stroke, crank your lazy radius down, and now when you hold down Shift, it'll snap all, much closer to the end of your brush. That might be a little bit easier to dictate where that ends up. So that's a bunch of different methods to go ahead and split up your object into different sculpted panel areas with these brushes. So pick your favorite one and start carving in some panels.